going to show you a clip of Wes Streeting first here, who was the Health Secretary and is out and about. We talked about this poll they're doing of how we think the health service should change, and he's saying there will be people on trolleys in the winter.
I wish I could sit here and tell you that in the first winter of a Labour government we could just abolish corridor care and no one would be on trolleys in corridors. There will be people on trolleys in corridors today, and there will be throughout the winter. What we've got to do is, instead of going hard on arbitrary targets this winter, is to make sure that for every patient who comes through the door, it's the safety and the dignity of that patient that is first and foremost, rather than, you know, trying to work to some arbitrary targets.
Yeah, they don't like targets, do they?
No, they don't, because they, you know, potential to fail.
I've decided I quite like a target.
Well, so I think everybody likes a target, but then you can judge how it's going.
Oh, I see. So you don't. I'm sorry. You think they don't like targets because targets actually show up?
Yeah.
I don't know, because sometimes people they act in order to hit the target without getting much better, Danny. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, they can manipulate the data sometimes. That's the problem, isn't it? But I think, you know, this is their first, few months in government. You're not going to change the NHS in 3 months. I don't.
Do you think he can when he says, you know, we want a dignity of every patient?
Yes, I believe him. I believe him.
Really?
I have to say, watching him hit all the media yesterday and I think the day before as well, I suddenly realised that he's one of the first politicians I feel I can trust. I watched him.
Wow.
I listened to him
in your lifetime.
Well, yeah, one of a few, yes.
Wow.
And as we know, that goes back a long way. Yeah, that goes back a long way.
Wow.
I
hope he's watching this.
And Ed Davey, I trust. But I listened to him on your radio show yesterday, and I was impressed by his command of what he's doing, his human side, his just his humanity.
Yeah, but he's got the best intentions, maybe. But in the end,
I think he can do it.
We have a health system that is trying to fix 68 million people, and I don't know if it's possible, Danny.
I think it's very, very difficult. You know, it's been in decline for many, many years. It's probably tipped over the edge right now, and it's going to take huge reform, you know, to get it back to where it was 20 years ago. And you can't do that in a couple of months. You know, simple as that. That's pretty much impossible.
What's the biggest thing? We talked earlier about all these suggestions that have come in, including some quite silly ones. What's the biggest thing you think he should do?
I think it's very, very difficult. I think what we have to remember is that NHS care for emergencies and very, very serious stuff is amazing, is absolutely brilliant. You know, I think if you need treatment immediately and it's really serious, we are one of the best in the world.
Really?
At that.
Have you seen inside an A&E?
But have you been to other places, to A&E around the world? It's not brilliant.
Well, I mean,
we're good at that. I think it's the lesser stuff that we're not great at. The waiting lists are too long and all those types of things.
Yeah.
But what he needs to do is to make it join up from the GP, from local community medicine to the hospital, to the consultants, and then also social care. So there's a continuous flow. It's got to be that.
Social care
you can't just tinker with bits.
Sure, but social care is a whole thing in itself. I mean, how do you give the care that all the old people in this country need unless they have to sell their houses?
Well,
maybe they do.
Maybe they do in the long term. We don't know. But you can't just tinker around the edges. It has to be branch and root. We have to also make GPs so that people can get an appointment.
Yeah.
You know, and the other thing is, we have a very big hospital, North London Hospital, the Royal Free, within sight of us. And I walk through the car park to get to the shops and stuff like that. During the week, the car park is absolutely full. There's about 60 or 70 spaces there. Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes Friday afternoons, 5 cars.
I wonder why hospitals close at the weekend. I don't get that.
People get 6-7 days a week.
I know. I mean, I had a relative in hospital and it was denuded on a Saturday, Sunday.
That's wrong.
I don't get it.